Okay, so I'm apparently going somewhere that I really don't want to go, but I have no choice. But here I am. Before I start, I want to definitely say a shout out to my dad. If he ever watches this, happy birthday. I love you and be safe because it's a crazy time for everybody. So yeah, I mean, here we go. Gotta be quick and sweet and quick. So a couple days ago, before I went biking on Thursday, I transplanted these tomatoes. This variety tomatoes, but I know they just needed to be in a big pot by themselves. Perhaps we'll have to transplant them again. Okay, so here are the zinnias, marigolds. Marigolds are doing really well. I realized that Home Depot actually has their own marigolds, and so really the annuals, I really prefer perennials because they just last longer and definitely something you can just have reoccurring in your garden as opposed to just planting every season or every couple of seasons or something. Which is something I don't completely mind to attract pollinators, but I'd rather get something that's more, you know what I'm saying, more perennial, saves time and possibly money. Um, the broccoli, lettuce. I planted some in here last week actually, and I don't know if it turned out so well. I had cilantro going, but somehow, I don't think those do too well in the sun by themselves. Um, yeah, but I planted a bunch of lettuce in this one, and then I came out a couple of days ago. And then turns out, I think the next day, there were something was there, and it kind of took this plant out. So that's why that one is not doing so well compared to the others, unfortunately. I just touched it and it came off. So I don't know how well that one's going to survive. But that's why I planted extra ones to make sure it's in good condition, and so I have a higher probability of growing okra. But yeah, I planted a bunch of these, and so it was, mind you, it was straightened out. But then when it came out, it seemed like something was walking all over it. Okay, the beets aren't doing too well. I don't know if it's, well, actually, I think they're recovering surprisingly. And these leaves and stuff, but the edges, I added a bunch of manure, food, organic manure fertilizer, if you want to call it that. So I think it may be recovering from that. So it's definitely getting its nutrients. Um, Here I have the five cucumbers, the yellow cucumbers that are growing. I know they aren't looking so good. This one, I don't know, honestly, but as long as the outer leaves are growing, then I think it'll be okay. I realized that from a watermelon. Here is the raspberries, which is gonna be quite some time before they actually start growing their own raspberries, but they are bountiful compared to strawberries. So I'm really excited to see this grow, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to transplant it pretty soon for it to grow even more. Um, I made a whole update on tomatoes last week, and so I have a lot growing apparently. Like I said before, when the flowers actually fall off, that means that the tomatoes haven't successfully germinated, and so you see these tiny little spots right here, and so they grow. A lot of them are growing, in fact, a lot, over 30. In fact, like just about every flower. I mean, everything here, just like brand new areas are going. So you just gotta give them a quick tap, and then they'll just grow on their own. So once this is like the first tomato to actually grow. As you can tell, it's the largest one out of these, and so it's just a whole bunch of them all over. Pretty excited to first harvest those. I actually bought some mason jars so I can put them in. This is the red hot chili peppers, and so I didn't really have to do much to those for them to successfully germinate and become peppers and fruit of their own. But I just shook it up, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, to just give it a little boost. Make sure it's for sure successfully germinated. Um, I bought, oh yeah, this is jalapeno, one of the first ones I had. The very first one is actually the red bell peppers, which are kind of stuck in between the tomatoes and, the other peppers and fruit. Orange bell, I actually bought this, I think, on Monday. Um, and so it's relatively small compared to the other ones, but they grow pretty fast. And I know definitely within the next by July or August, I'm definitely gonna get something from these. No doubt about these, but it's been like a month since I've planted these on their own. So and they're already starting to grow blooms, which is a good sign. Okay. Away with that. Now onto the other tomatoes. These are the bigger ones. I realize are not the same type of strawberries, but I do have, yeah. So here's a couple of them are pretty big. This one and that one over there, if you can see it. Oops, that right there. Yeah, they're pretty large. And so they once the seeds stop growing, I think this one is supposed to fall off. But um, definitely they grow. These are the bigger ones, probably really good for sandwiches and stuff. Those are more, those are good for salads. You want to chop them up. Oh yeah. Here, my sugar peas are not doing so well. Unfortunately, I gotta plant more before it gets too hot. Um, which is something I'm gonna do soon. Here are the string beans. Those are doing really well, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how they go. And so once they grow, the little things, so they're gonna strap onto this, and then I have it on a little secluded area. Compared to just compared to the big guys that are surrounding it. Sorry, it's still allergy season. No more like all around allergies. So, yeah, they got tangled. Alright, so strawberries. No blooms yet, unfortunately. Hopefully blooms will just blooms will, I don't know. I mean sometimes it's kinda hard to actually get bloom strawberries. They're just kinda funny that way. But we'll see about it soon. Okay, so past through these. So these are zucchini, and I only had one female flower out of all of these. I have yet to see any other. All of these are just male flowers and stuff. And so, all the male flowers decided to bloom much after I wanted a female flower. So, I have plenty of these, and I have to see how long the male flowers are going to be in bloom before, how long the pollen is good enough. Because the female flower did not make it, unfortunately. And you can tell that, the female flower, that right here, was going to turn into a zucchini. So, because of the unsuccessful pollination, they did not make it, sadly. This is the summer squash. It says it's going to take a couple months for it to be ready to bloom, but I already see some flowers growing on this little guy, so it's definitely gonna. This one is gonna be all right. I'm pretty excited about that. Cucumbers. Just like a quick transition. I think all of these are male flowers. I don't see any female flowers at the moment, but I do. Oh, look, a female flower. It's kind of hard to spot. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, that's a female flower. So when this blooms, I'm gonna take some. I'm sure there are gonna be a lot of male flowers still. So I'm gonna take some from the male flower and then just put it in the female flower. Kind of tiny, so it's hard to tell, but hey, I think you have a better chance on getting more cucumbers than you are, with everything else. So for sure, I think by tomorrow, actually right now, I'm gonna put up one of the lanyards so it can, on trellis so it can grow. Alright, so here I have the butternut squash. I think these are the developing flowers. I haven't seen butternut squash flowers yet, but they do grow very large. So I do think that I'm really excited for it to grow. I'm really, really excited to see the butternut squash grow. That's actually the one plant I really wanted the most, and so I'm really, really excited for that. Okay, so yeah, so I have all of these are actually butternut squash, and then the three over here are pumpkin. I think the variety pumpkin that grows like the fall pumpkin, really. And so they're growing. Three of them are growing on the edge here. Oops, sorry. Yeah. And I have one tiny little watermelon. I'm sure eating the sprouts that have been eaten has slowed the development process, unfortunately. But the show must go on. I planted some over there, and like I said before, it did not make it. Okay, so these are still being, these are well. I need to be mindful of the time because that's not doing too well. Maybe I think I need to add more fertilizer to a lot of these herbal resources over here. Yeah. So here is the aloe I think I bought a couple weeks ago. I have to put it out of the sun to make sure it does well because I think they were growing in the shade when I bought them. So I think these are definitely more indoor / shade plants. I don't think they should get a touch of sunlight because I don't know why, they just don't do well in the sun. At least these don't do well. This is my parsley, coral parsley. I've yet to plant that, and I kept saying I was gonna plant it, and yet it never worked. Here's a sunflower, and I know that these aren't doing so well, so I had to look into that. I don't want to say, look, I have a greenish stump, alright? I have a greenish stump. I can't say I have a complete green thumb because I'm still learning, but I would say that, I would say at least over 70% of the stuff that I'm growing is definitely making it. And mind you, this too is that this is organically grown. Everything here, no pesticides. So really, any bugs I see, I try and get rid of the bugs, except for one. But it's just, I'm gonna have to have. It's gonna be a slight uphill battle trying to, grow organically with these bugs. But I don't want to put pesticides in my food. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I transplanted these last week. Oh, sorry. And yeah, so these are the lavender. I need to stop watering so much, but I think that was my mistake. So I think because these are definitely water-wise, but lantana doesn't have to be too often, from what I heard. So they're really great for SoCal. Not with lavender, but as we all know, they can be really tricky to grow. And I do think I'm gonna have to start. Well, I'm gonna start harvesting them. These are the ones that have bloomed already, and so that gives them more room to grow. Especially here, because I know the roots aren't doing too well that I see. So I need to do something with that. Gosh, man, it's crazy. Yeah, so Lantana's doing really well. Lantana's doing really well. Sorry, Lantana. I didn't expect that. B-Bomb doing pretty good as well. Actually, I don't know if they're doing pretty well. When I planted them, they weren't, they kind of looked the same way, but I'm just awaiting on bloom, so I'm just looking forward to that. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'll just plant them in separate pots where they have their own room. I don't think it's too late for that, but we'll see. Here I have the corn. And so I plan to transplant it out on Monday from one of the tinier, like, one of those purple pots. So garden is doing pretty well so far. I know they don't do well when they transplant immediately, so crossing my fingers and keeping high hopes, because this is the pot they should be in compared to everything else. That's what I meant. So I didn't really point this out, but hey, look, I've actually gotten everything. Pre-ordered stuff, and then I had to pick up stuff from IKEA and Amazon, but mostly IKEA. So I mean, I had this watermelon thing, umbrella in my trunk since like last summer/fall. So finally get the opportunity to find use of it, even though it's not actually a patio thing. It's more for the beach. And it's something else. It's nice. I like it. Yeah. So all of this probably cost me like on average. Well, it cost me like $104 because I got everything on sale. But I bought about 6 of these, but I just couldn't find the amount of square footage to make it where it's evened out. So I just have about 48 of these on the floor, and then I decided to buy this. I thought it was $35, but it was actually like less than 20, about $21, I think, including tax. Yeah, so this one was 45. I was thinking of buying the $65 bench, but I'm like, you know what? No, it's just gonna be me out here. I don't want anybody else to be on my stuff. This one, I think I bought it in the bundle. The bundle was like $149, but I got the chair. I also got this chair and this, and I got it for like $108, which is great. This is genuine furniture, but everything I had to build, including the chairs, and just put the seating down and stuff. IKEA, typical IKEA, but it makes you get things cheaper. And so I got this white table from the dorm, and indoors, like in the living room. But I just decided to put out here because I don't want anybody in the house complaining, oh, we have too much stuff. So I just decided to put it out here and use it for the time being. Worst case scenario, I can just have it as for outdoor furniture and then decide that, what, I'm just gonna have it here, not do anything too special with it. But besides keeping outdoors and just buy another one or look for the one that my mom had in advance. So yeah, just making multiple use of stuff, and so I put my stuff out here. If I didn't mention that before, I have an aquarium collection, which I'm pretty happy about. So far, so good. And when it starts to rain, I just grab the basket and put it indoors. No biggie. And I can pretty much do that with everything else. I know that was a concern of my mom's, that I think for the wooden stuff, I definitely have to get a cover up for it to make sure it lasts as long as it can. Because the decking, is something you probably have to do once or twice a year, depending on where you live. You have to decide, or you have to kind of wipe it down. You have to polish it up to make sure it's in great condition still. Because the wood is tricky. Wood is really tricky. So the grill I actually bought a few days ago, I only wanted it for wood because we just have a whole bunch of wood back here that probably can't be, all of it can't be given to the city, I'm sure, all in 1 week. So, might as well just make use of what we have. And so I'm going to find usage of this in the future, which I'm pretty excited about. It's like a double use, a grill and a bonfire. Just find something to chop the wood up quicker. So this is how everything looked like in a week. I'm very happy how things turned out. If I live this up, it will turn into its own little light thing, and I'm pretty excited. Thanks for joining me.